Good morning, good morning. Nice to be with you guys. Morning, Fee. Hi, Flo. I knew you guys would be waiting for me. Good morning. I'm actually trying to get onto Facebook and I don't know what's happening. So I'm just going to, as you're joining me on Instagram, I'm just going to see, hey, Belle. Hi, Ellie. Thank you all for being there. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I'm just trying to get onto Facebook and it doesn't want to work today. It's the oddest thing. Not interested in me doing a live over on Facebook today. So I'm just going to try once more. Otherwise, we might just be live on Instagram today and hopefully our Facebookers will come find us over here. How are you all? How was your weekend? Why don't we spend a little bit of time I'd love to hear what you've been up to over the weekend. Hi, Natalie. I'm trying really hard to get onto Facebook, but it's just not opening up. It won't even, so painful. So maybe it's just us on Instagram today, hey? Fee saying, thank you. We had a lovely weekend in the garden. Yeah, me too. It was fantastic. Wasn't the weather incredible? So good, wasn't it? I planted potatoes this weekend, which I hope take because then the grandparents have just told me that maybe I have to put in a different type of potato. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. Marie-Pierre, hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning. I can't make Facebook work. I feel bad for the Facebook people. It is uninterested in working today. Let me try one more time. Thank you for bearing with me. Who else is there? Let me know over on Instagram. How are you? What have you been up to this weekend? Yep, potatoes. I've been planting potatoes, going for walks. What have you guys been up to? Tell me. Just while I have one more go at getting on to Facebook. If it's meant to be, it will be. Otherwise, it's just us on Instagram. Bear with. Sorry, guys. Thank you for being patient with me. I really appreciate it. I just, I feel a bit bad to not... Oh, here we go. Now it's happening. 1 second. Won't be a minute. I think it's going to work otherwise. It won't go live in my group today. Okay, so I'll go live on my main page then, shall I? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Chat amongst yourselves. No. Not happy. It's not happy. Natalie went out for the first time in 4 days. Walk, no phone, made a bucket list. Oh, yes. Have you seen the film Bucket List? Probably a good time to watch it. Ellie's been planting in the garden as well. Flo, good weekend, just chilled, caught up with friends virtually. Yeah, we did a lot of virtual friend catching up as well. Hey, Nick. Hi, everybody. Okay, so it seems like I can't get into Facebook. It seems like it just doesn't want to happen today. So I guess I will close down my laptop and just talk to you guys. How do you do to shop here every morning? That takes a lot of courage. Are you talking to me? That's okay. Thank you. Courage. It's interesting. I think the first time I did it felt courageous. Okay, Facebook's just not working. I'm not going to waste any more time on it. So it's just us lot on Instagram. Courage. That's, yeah, interesting. Does it feel courageous? It did the first time I did it, because I wasn't sure if I was going to understand the tech, and now I'm understanding it. It's good, it's fun, it's easy when it works, but today Facebook's not working. Everyone in the garden, yeah, it was one of those weekends, and I was so excited yesterday. I wore a dress, like a strapless dress, and I was warm. I was hot at times, like I just didn't get cold, and that was just so exciting. So exciting for me. And I wore a hat. I was like, oh my God, I'm wearing a hat. That means summer's here. Went for a lovely walk. So good, so good. Val, Katie, we were skipping in the garden. I wanted you to know skipping rope challenge. Ooh, we do own a couple of skipping ropes actually. Is that a thing, is it? Skipping rope challenge? Love that film. Yeah, is that the bucket list? It's a good one, isn't it? And an oldie but a goodie. Okay, well, so settling in. Today, what's today about? I felt very strongly that I wanted to talk all of this week. So this week, thank you for the hearts. This week, the theme is going to be about feeling good. It's going to be about feeling good, bringing in joy and pleasure into your everyday this week. And interestingly, it does tie in, which is kind of wasn't my thinking. It's not why I'm doing this, but it does tie in with tomorrow night. We have the first call of our group calls for my program Daring and Mighty Love. So I'm working with some single women who are wanting to call in their soulmate, and we're doing a 3-month mastermind together all around that. And because it's very largely based in masculine, feminine principles, all the teachings, the feminine is all about feeling good. She's all about connecting to pleasure and joy and desire. And so that's kind of a foundational piece that will be running through that group for 3 months. It's not the reason why I'm doing it this week. It just feels really important. I think I was doing a call last night with my Evolution membership. I just jump in there and do bonus calls all the time because I like to, if I'm feeling inspired by a topic, I like to share it with my clients. And so we did a call last night. Who's that? It is now. Oh, skipping rope challenge. Okay, you've created a challenge. I love it. Marie Pierre was saying, wow, I was journaling about this morning. Pleasure and joy. Yeah, it's really important. And so, yeah, I did a bonus call last night. We did like a 90-minute. It was so delicious with my Evolution membership ladies on a Sunday reflection ritual. So it's like a list of kind of questions that you can ask yourself on a Sunday to reflect back on the week that's just been, just to acknowledge what you've achieved, how you felt, what you want for the upcoming week. It's a really nice process. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for coming and finding us over here. Facebook is not working. I tried and it ain't working. So I'm glad you found us over here. And I hope everybody else comes and finds us over here too. And do you know what's weird? This morning when I was putting my makeup on, because I need makeup at the moment, when I get a suntan, maybe not, but at the moment, mama needs makeup. I was putting on my makeup and I thought, I wonder if I could be doing these sessions just from one camera. If I could do them just from Instagram, would everybody from Facebook follow over? Or the Facebookers clinging on to Facebook? And it's so funny that Facebook crashed this morning. It's not working. Because I kind of have this desire that maybe it'd be fun to take the camera out and about. Maybe I don't have to sit in my office to do them all the time. But while I've got 2 screens, I'm limited to one place. So it's kind of funny how that worked out. All right, you guys are talking to each other. Cool, carry on, chat away. And so last night we were doing our Sunday reflection ritual, and Isabel on the call, it doesn't matter that I say her name because you don't know who I'm talking about, so she's still anonymous, but she's a real person. And I've written it down here and I said, we have to get this hashtag going viral. And the hashtag is confinement achievements. Who relates to that? Confinement achievements. Because we're all so addicted is the word, to achieving, to getting our sense of self, our sense of self-worth, self-esteem, feeling on purpose, our love, our connection. We get it from achieving, and we like to better say, I did that and I did that and I did that. Hi, Pippa. And everyone's liking the idea of me taking the camera outside. Okay. And we're being called right now to move into a space of stillness and healing and moving from fear to love, because this achievement addiction is actually fear-based, isn't it? It's competitive, it's always comparative, and yeah, we're addicted to it, and so it's fear-based. And so while we're in this space now where we're all home, when we're cocooning, where some of us are carrying on with life as normal, some of us are figuring out a different way to approach life, and while we're being invited into stillness and into our inner world, we have moved the addiction of achievement externally to internally. It's not got anywhere. I think for a lot of people, this achievement addiction is now on steroids. And Isabel last night labeled it confinement achievement. It's like, how many online courses can I do? What books can I read? I must make the most of this opportunity while we're here. We've got a couple months, 3 months, I don't know, maybe 6 months. This is my chance. The time is now. I must do everything I always say I've never got time to do. So we're back on this treadmill and in this trap of having to achieve. And it's crazy. So I felt that this week's theme, hi Raina, this week's theme is around feeling good, because that is basically the modus operandi of the feminine, our feminine energy. And to reiterate, because I know we've got a man on the call, we all have feminine energy. So we've all got our feminine, we've all got our masculine. We're just so used to having the masculine run the show. And I am a big believer. I live and breathe it. It's been a huge part of my own growth and transformation in learning to bring in the feminine and bring in so that there's an equality between that dynamic within us. There's a dance between the two. Nick's smiling because he's included here in this. I love that Nick's in this space of all these beautiful women. It's great and fits in perfectly. Yeah, Ellie saying she can relate. Mary Pierre, so true. Pierre, so true, yeah. And so this week I want to really focus on this beautiful feminine quality of just feeling good. Like, how can you bring feeling good into your all day, every day? Yeah? Yeah, everyone's saying hi to Nick. Nick's feeling very privileged. And you are. This is an awesome group. I love it. So that's the theme for this week is choosing to feel good. Just choosing to feel good. There's a great book if you've not read it. Not because I want you to add another book to your confinement achievement book reading list. It is a great book though. It's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and he talks about like, how long can you allow yourself to feel good? How long do you dare to allow yourself to feel good? Because most of us have a habit of just, it's like, oh, you're only allowed so much. You're only allowed so much of feeling good, and then that's enough, and you must get on now. Get on with the real tasks of the day to day. Yeah, it's a great book. Highly recommend. So feeling good is the theme for this week. And in the middle of the night last night, it really came to me, and quite often for these calls, I get the inspiration in the middle of the night. So I kind of wake up, or I find myself dreaming about it. I'm like, oh, that's what we'll talk about tomorrow, which is really nice. I'm getting WhatsApp messages from clients who are they're wondering how I am, because I'm not on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Natalie, the pressure to achieve, be doing amazing stuff during this time is big. Yeah, isn't it? Even though we're all actually being given permission globally, every single human is being given permission to just take it down a notch. Go inside. We're all being given permission, and yet this pressure to achieve and be and doing amazing things is enormous. It's like it's on steroids for so many people. It's kind of bizarre. You love that book? Yeah, Rebecca? Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? If anybody's on Facebook in connection with Lindy, by the way, if any of you knows Lindy who's on those calls, drop her a message and let her know we're over on Instagram, because she's wondering if I'm all right. Fee, it's crazy how everyone doesn't know how to relax. Yeah, but we're not taught, are we? Most of us aren't taught how to relax. Most of us are running on adrenaline and cortisol all the time, which is why so many are in adrenal fatigue That's why most of us are exhausted. We're constantly chasing our tail to prove our worth. This is what it's about. We're proving our worth. Yeah. Please answer them, honey. Please answer them, honey. Oh, you mean the messages? It's okay. I have to do that later. I can't manage that as well. Nick, you have to remove any form of guilt to fully embrace joy and fun. Amen. You do. And I would invite you to love the guilt. Have compassion for that part of you that is feeling guilty. It's just a habit of behavior. So don't make it wrong. Don't make yourself wrong for feeling the guilt. The guilt's coming up for a reason. Give it love. Bal, especially when the kids and WhatsApp groups and competition to do the most with your children. Oh yeah, like I've removed myself from any group like that. I've been added to all sorts of groups. No one's asked me if I would like to be in the groups. I've just been added, so I've just removed myself. I can't deal with too much information coming at me. I told you last week I'm a little bit sensitive, and I need to manage my energy really well. So yeah, and not because the groups aren't beautiful and well-meaning and all that good stuff. I can't take on too much. Fee, the Queen, even spoke about meditation and prayer last night, which I loved. Yes, I missed her speech. Right, thank you. I will watch that back. She did. I love that she mentioned meditation. Nick, good boundaries. Thanks, Nick. Yeah. Does the Queen meditate? Marie-Pierre's wondering. I wonder if she does. Perhaps she does. Yeah, maybe she does. Maybe it's a prayer practice. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Really beautiful. Actually, I was speaking on our Evolution membership group last night, the call we had. One of the women who's based in Florida is a doctor, and she was sharing how her boss, who historically she's always had, a real sort of push-pull dynamic with, actually has asked her to lead a group meditation with their team every morning. Like, this is a miracle. You couldn't make it up. And she's like, I can't believe that this is happening. But this is because we are all being called in to the feminine. And this is the feminine's way. The stillness, in the apparent, like, doing nothingness is where our power is. It's so powerful. We just haven't learned how powerful it is. Yeah. Everyone's talking about the Queen and meditating. It's great. And so, yeah, in the middle of the night last night, it also came to me to talk about money. Feeling good and money. I think money is a piece that's coming up for most of us at the moment. I'm not personally feeling it too much, but every now and then a little bit of fear definitely jumps in, and it's like, God, Katie, how long is this going to go on for? Is your business going to survive this? I'm actually working with 3 beautiful brand new clients this week. So, it's all good at the moment, but you have those little, actually not just 3, I've got 8 or 9, I think, this week, which is very exciting, isn't it? New clients. And there's the fear voice that goes, is that going to last? Is your business going to crash? Because everyone's talking about their businesses crashing. Are you missing a trick? Are you like not living in reality? And you can get that spiral of thinking because of, you can feel the energies of other people, right? And it's about really, like I was saying before, protecting boundaries and not allowing yourself to go down that rabbit hole of other people's stuff and worries. Marie-Pierre, it is not sure it could happen in a law office. I don't want to go back. Well, you'd be surprised, Marie-Pierre. I'm being invited into law offices to speak about self-love these days. I've spoken to, I think, 4 different law firms about self-love, and they want to learn how to meditate, and they are, there's a movement. So watch this space, honey. Allow your law office to receive that. Stillness is a superpower. Yes, it is, Natalie. Marie, 8 new clients. Yeah, I mean, I'm always working with new people. It's wonderful, and I'm very blessed. I love my work so much, and that would be, more than the money. If I didn't have a flow of clients coming through, then I would feel I would really miss my people. I miss these people that I get to work with. I mean, it's so beautiful. I'm so lucky. And so I want to talk about work and money because I know it's front of mind for so many people. And of course, who should jump to mind for me when I think about work and money? One of my favorite teachers on the subject is Marianne Williamson. Give us some hearts if you know who I'm talking about. She's been the last few months running for presidency in the States, but she's written multiple spiritual teachings. She teaches A Course in Miracles. She's amazing. And if America could have a president like Marianne Williamson, oh my God, it would be incredible. She's already changing the conversation in the States, which is just beautiful. If you go on Facebook and look up Marianne Williamson to watch some of her speeches that she's doing as she's running for presidency, she's totally changing the conversation, and she just blows my mind. And so I went to my enormous library up there this morning, and the book I was going for was The Law of Divine Compensation, a beautiful read around money and work. If you've not read it, highly recommend. But then what caught my eye, so we're not going to look at this book today, then what caught my eye was A Return to Love. And isn't that exactly the title for this time? I mean, A Return to Love. This is a reflection on the principles of A Course in Miracles. And I felt that I wasn't too sure what I was going to read, and I opened to the chapter called Work, chapter 7. And I felt really strongly that I would like to read a couple of pages of this to you, if you don't mind, because I think it brings a really beautiful perspective to the subject of work and money, which I really do feel is on the minds of so many right now. And we all, all of her teachings, all the teachings of A Course in Miracles is all about a movement from fear to love. We've learned how to live in fear. Like we were saying before, this confinement, achievement, this addiction to achieving is fear-based. So A Course in Miracles is about coming from a place of love. And it felt really appropriate. I mean, gosh, A Return to Love. That really is the title of this time. So this week I'm going to focus on work and money and on feeling good. And if we have time, I'm going to do a card reading as well. Let me have a sip of tea. Marie Pierre is saying you read her last book on work and money. I haven't read that one. Yep, everybody wants some of that. Good, okay. Presuming you've all bought a journal and a pen to the call today, I wonder, I think we're going to move through this week a little bit differently, if that's okay. That would feel fun for me. I think I would like for you to just write down a couple of beliefs that you have around feeling good, around choosing to feel good. What's your relationship with this idea of feeling good? Yeah, cup of tea. High flow. What's your relationship to feeling good? Just connect with that for a moment. Does that feel exciting for you? Does it fill you with terror? Do you believe it's something you can do? Marie Pierre said, did you say the willing for achievements is fear-based? Our addiction to having to achieve all the time to prove our worth, I believe, is fear-based. Because love would say that just being me, who I am, without doing anything, without having to achieve and have something to show for it, just who I am is enough. And the need to achieve and tick boxes and say, look what I did, or I made this money, or I did everything on that list today to prove my worth is fear-based, because it suggests that just you being you isn't enough. So that's what I mean. That resonates. Great. Yeah. And so on the subject of feeling good, this beautiful feminine principle, it is kind of the superpower of the feminine. What's your relationship to that? Like, how does it feel for you? to consider making feeling good a daily intention. Does that feel reasonable? Does that feel doable? Do you feel like that's available to you? Could you, what would that bring up for you? Would it bring up excitement? Would it bring up guilt? Would it bring up feelings of not enough? Would it bring up like, hell yeah, oh my God, imagine if I could just feel good all day, every day? Is it going to be a blend of all of those? What does it bring up for you? And feel free to share in the comments as well. Feel free to share. What does that bring up for you? Remembering that this could be a baby steps piece. In my life and in my experience, I, over the last few years, have moved more and more and more into a space of I won't do anything unless it feels good. And interestingly, my business has felt way more aligned with me, way more fun, and been way more successful as I only come from a place of doing things that feel good, not because some marketing guru told me that's what I should do, or because they're doing that and I'm in competition, right? It's just what feels good for me. Hence these calls. These calls came from a place of what feels good for me. How can I serve? Rebecca says it brings up feelings of selfishness and guilt. Fee, fun, exciting and amazing. Rebecca, but I want to, yeah. Nick, expression and joyful creativity. Yeah, beautiful. Val says relationship to feeling good, an unknown feeling. And that's so honest. Yeah, it's like, does not compute. Don't even understand the question because it's so unfamiliar, so unknown. Yeah, Natalie, relaxing feels good, but I find it hard to truly relax. It feels indulgent. Sana, hello, it says, brings up feelings of peace and being centered. Lovely. Ellie, I would love to. There's a script around feeling good is lazy and I am not worth allowing myself to feel good. Very good self-reflection. Yeah, awesome. So and I wonder how many of you can relate with each other here. Like there's a real mixed bag there, isn't there? And I really love how, one of those comments was, it's like, I don't even really understand the question. Like it's such an unfamiliar feeling. And this is something that I am inviting you into this week and, and forever, just to start practicing this intention of choosing to feel good, choosing to love yourself enough to feel good. We don't have to suffer. We don't have to be a martyr. When your work, so moving into the theme of work and money, when your work feels really good for you, you're going to be more successful. Whatever success equates to, you're going to generally feel successful because success it's a good feeling, right? It's not even necessarily related to how much money you're making. I feel good. I feel purposeful. I feel like I'm really connecting. I feel like I'm speaking my truth. I'm aligned with who I am. That feels successful in my body. Marie Pierre saying it feels lazy and indulgent. Yeah. Sana, I related to Ellie's feeling till sometime before, but I'm being mindful and training myself to feel good and still be productive. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, can you be productive and feel good? Really cool question. That's a nice piece to acknowledge. I believe you can if what you're doing, the productivity, is in alignment. Is it serving you? Is it serving the truth of who you are? Is it serving your people? Who are you being of service to? Are you doing it in a way that feels true to you? Like this, for me right now, feels true to me. It feels good. I'm here, I'm serving. I can't remember quite how the conversation went on our call last night with my membership group, but it was something like, I don't know if I suggested that I wouldn't do these calls anymore, something about the idea of me not doing this anymore, and everyone went, no, you have to keep doing the daily calls. And that's great, isn't it? They're receiving so much, they're loving it, and I'm feeling good to serve and deliver it. It's staying in your own lane and doing life at your own pace. Beautiful. I love that, Fee. Yeah, nicely put. Nick, have to be strong enough to say no to the stuff that dampens the joy. Yeah, which again, going back to that word boundaries is really powerful, isn't it? It's like taking a stand for this feels good for me, that doesn't feel good for me. When you're invited to something, does that feel good for me to go to that, or does it not feel? It's really about learning how to come from that space of feeling, which is our spiritual self. Our spiritual self communicates through feeling, doesn't it? So it's not from our masculine mind, our ego self. Like if I'm invited to something, my mind might work it through. Well, what could I get out of that? What's the cost? I can see there's lots of messages. I'll try and catch up. What would be the wins? What's the pros? What's the cons? What would they think? What would yada yada yada, right? Or I could ask myself a better question. Does it feel good for me to go? Just intuitively, just feeling into my body. Is that a yes or is it a no? Forgetting the pros and cons, forgetting what I'm going to get out of it, forgetting what they're going to get out of it, forgetting what they're going to think, forgetting the cost. It's like, does that feel true for me? Yeah, I think I'd enjoy that. Yeah, I think I'd be of great service there and I'd enjoy being of service, or I think I would receive something really beautiful from that. So yeah, do you know what I mean? It's coming from that place. Does that feel good for me? Looking at food choices, does that option feel good for me, or does that option feel good for me? Feel into that. What am I going to do today? Does that feel good for me? Does that feel good for me? How am I going to serve today? Does that feel good for me, or does that feel good for me? It's coming from that place of how does it feel for me, rather than what should I be doing? The judgment, the competition, the ego, all of that noise. That's how we're used to making decisions. And my invitation around feeling good is to move to a space of feeling good about your decisions. I'm just going to check these, see if I can scroll back and see some of these messages. Okay, so Sana says, we're conditioned that success has to be painful, sweat and struggle, but it can be done with self-love and calm in all the senses. Yeah, absolutely. Fee's agreeing with Nick. Yeah, how feeling good. Yeah. Like, yeah, cool. Natalie's saying, totally feel that. I like the idea of lovingly and respectfully setting boundaries. Yes, absolutely. That's self-love right there. Rebecca, authentic power and not pushy power. Yes. Sana's agreeing, and Lily's Flowers Weddings has joined. Hello, nice to see you. Let me just get rid of this message. Yeah. So you've tuned in with how it feels, or what your kind of relationship is with this idea of feeling good. I'm getting lots of messages coming up on my screen. And so now we've had a little bit of a conversation about it. Oh my God, so many messages coming on my screen. Go away. Not you guys, the other things. Setting yourself up for the week ahead. Actually, no, let's set you up for today. How could you feel good today? And you could consider all parts. So consider your mind, your emotions, your body, your spirit. Those 4 aspects of self: your intellectual mind, your emotions, your feelings, your physical body, and your spiritual self. What do you need to feel good today? What would feel good for you today when you consider those 4 parts of self? Maybe just set a little intention around each area and how you choose to feel good today. And if you'd like to share, please do. I'm all ears as always. I mean, I'm setting the intention this week. While I have actually quite a lot of client calls this week, I've got a group program and I've got private clients. I also I'm creating chunks. I'm really ring fencing. So here we go back to that word boundaries. I'm ring fencing with a boundary, chunks of space this week just for me to be in stillness, to meditate, to walk, to do whatever in that moment feels good for me. It's absolutely about not trying to achieve anything, and not even with any kind of attachment to an outcome from the stillness. Like, I'm going to be really still and enjoy meditation so that I can get some kind of divine download and have my next big idea. No. I'm going to choose to be still just because I'm feeling called to be still, and I'm being called to it because that feels good. And what's really delicious is that I'm being called to it not from a place of exhaustion. I'm not tired. I'm not being called to stillness this week because I'm exhausted and I've been pushing myself for several weeks. I'm not at all, actually. I'm not called to a holiday. I'm not called to any of it. I feel energetically good. I'm just being called to go deep inside, just to be with me. It just feels important to not be selling anything, to not be marketing anything, to not be creating anything new in my business, to not be having to be on like not another, I love them, but social calls with various different people. I'm just taking chunks of time this week for me because that feels good, and that's what I'm being called to. No attachment. And I'm ring fencing that. And the reason I want to let me just share a little bit more about what I mean there and how important it is. By putting a boundary around the chunks of time this week for me, that's my masculine energy supporting my feminine desire. My feminine is calling me into stillness and surrender and peace, to create safe space for me to have that, where I'm not freaking out that I should be doing something else, where I don't have to feel guilt because I've ring fenced it just for me. No one's expecting anything of me. My masculine energy, the role of the masculine is to serve and keep safe the feminine. The feminine's role is to be still, to receive the support of the masculine, to receive guidance from life. And so my masculine will create boundaries, and it's just and very practically, what is that? It's chunking out time in my calendar. Blocks of time. No one can book in a call with me. I'm not going to have a meeting with anybody. It just says that's time for Katie. That's it. So I can just relax into that time. No guilt. I've created it. It's there for me. It's mine. I'm just going to go back because I know there's lots of messages. Okay, Marie Pierre, having a few... has reading all your comments. Thank you to you. Having a few... has reading all your comments. Thank you to you all. I'm wondering if you're meaning having a few ahas. And thank you, Katie. You're very welcome. The going on a relaxing dog walk and just being in the moment and trust that the timing and route would be perfect. Yeah, I love that. That's so gentle. Beautiful. That would feel good for you today. I love that. Sana's saying bathing, meditating, studying, eating oranges. That's gorgeous. I love that too. So that's what's going to feel good for you today, Sana. Beautiful. Lily, I don't know if that's your name, but I'm going to call you Lily. Read some of my book each day will be good for my brain. Beautiful. Okay, yeah, I love that. Natalie, trust the route will be shown. Yes. Nick, boundaries provide us with the space to grow. Yes, the same in business. They're a sign of real strength. Totally. Yeah, it is something to practice, boundaries, isn't it? Sana, love the idea of not freaking out, worrying about expectations of others and being guided by your highest self. Yes. Bal, what would feel good today is reading and meditation. Yes. Ellie, painting. I love that. Yeah, painting. We just started hanging paintings in the house, actually. Some of paintings that I've done. Got a couple of amazing paintings that clients have done for me. And they're all getting hung around the house at the moment. Okay, so beautiful. So you're setting yourselves up today with feeling good, right? That's the intention for today. Feeling good. I love that. I love that. Okay, so would you mind if I read a couple of pages from this book as well today? A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. So there's a little quote that begins the chapter. And it says, I'm only here to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Nice. Okay, here we go. So this is part 1. I'm just going to read, it's 3 pages, 3 pages around surrendering our careers, and that just feels so true for this time. Seeing your strengths exactly as they are and equally aware of where they can be best applied, for what, for whom, and when he chooses and accepts your part for you. Success means we go to sleep at night knowing that our talents and abilities were used in a way that served others. This is going to talk about success in a much better way than I was able to a moment ago. We're compensated by grateful looks in people's eyes. Whatever material abundance supports us in performing joyfully and at high energy, and the magnificent feeling that we did our bit today to save the world. Doesn't that feel true? The atonement means putting love first in everything, in business as well as everything else. You're in business to spread love. Your screenplay should spread love. Your hair salon should spread love. Your agency should spread love. Your life should spread love. The key to a successful career is realizing that it's not separate from the rest of your life, but is rather an extension of your most basic self. Isn't that good? And your most basic self is love. Knowing who you are and why you came here, that you are a child of God and that you came here to heal and be healed, is more important than knowing what you want to do. What you want to do is not the important question. The question to ask is, when I do anything, how should I do it? And the answer is, kindly. People don't normally associate business with kindness, because business has come to be regarded as simply a tool for making money. Miracle workers are not in business only to make money. They're in business to inject love into the world. It's like music to my ears. Each of us has a particular part to play in God's plan for salvation. The Holy Spirit's job is to reveal to us our function and to help us perform it. The Holy Spirit asks us if it's reasonable to assume that He would assign us a task and then not provide us with the means of its accomplishment. Once again, we're not deciding for ourselves what part to play in life, but rather asking that it will be revealed to us where He would have us go and what He would have us do. We surrender our careers to Him. During World War II, the Allied generals oversaw all troop activity from a central headquarters from which they issued orders. The commanders on various fronts didn't necessarily know how their movements fit into an overall military scheme. They just knew they did, because they knew there was a general intelligence behind the issuing of their orders. So it is with us. We might not know how or where our talents would best be put to use, but the Holy Spirit does. A Course in Miracles teaches us to avoid self-initiated plans and to instead surrender our plans to God. And by the way, for me, when I'm reading this, I actually don't mind the word God or Holy Spirit. And I like to also inject words like life, the universe, source energy, so whatever feels good for you. Some people have said, but I'm afraid to surrender my career to God. I'm a musician. What if He wants me to be an accountant? My answer to that is, why would He? Wouldn't He rather have someone who understands numbers to do that job? If you're talented at music, that talent is of God. If something makes your heart sing, that's God's way of telling you it's a contribution He wants you to make. Sharing our gifts is what makes us happy. We're most powerful, and God's power is most apparent on the earth when we're happy. Let me just read that last sentence again. We're most powerful, and God's power is most apparent on the earth when we're happy. Isn't that about feeling good? Isn't all of what we're reading here, isn't there a theme of the importance of feeling good? A Course in Miracles says that the only real pleasure comes from doing God's will. The crux of salvation in any area is a shift in our sense of purpose. Relationships, careers, bodies, all these areas of our lives are reborn in spirit when we dedicate them to God's purposes, asking that they be used as instruments through which the world is healed. That shift is a miracle. As always, we consciously ask for it. Dear God, please give my life some sense of purpose. Use me as an instrument of your peace. Use my talents and abilities to spread love. I surrender my job to you. Help me to remember that my real job is to love the world back to health. Thank you very much. Amen. And by the way, that these 3 pages were given to me to read today. I don't remember these from having read this book all the years ago that I read it. I opened it and this was given to me, and I didn't read the 3 pages through fully before sharing it with you. I had a quick look this morning and thought that felt good. And listen to that last prayer. How about, because we've not done a meditation today, we've not done our journaling practice, we've not done what we usually do. However, I would invite you, please, if you'll join me, to just close your eyes and allow me to read this prayer. And just in your own mind, I invite you, if it feels good for you, to just repeat these words. You could say them out loud or in your own mind. You ready? Eyes closed. Dear God, please give my life some sense of purpose. Use me as an instrument of your peace. Use my talents and abilities to spread love. I surrender my job to you. Help me to remember that my real job is to love the world back to health. Thank you very much. Amen. How does that feel? How did that land for you? Is there anything that I read out of those 3 pages from A Return to Love that resonated for you? Did you receive a message that you needed to receive today? Did you have a little aha moment? Sana says, Katie, your presence spreads love. Thank you. That's so lovely. Thank you. Bal says that was beautiful. Yeah, it is pretty beautiful, isn't it? I mean, it blows my mind that it blows my mind that this was given to me to share today, actually. Any other feedback? How did that resonate for all of you? I feel really strongly this week that it's important that we really connect into what's true around work and money, and not what's false, not what's false evidence appearing real, which is fear, right? I feel very strongly that we need to remember universal laws and principles around money and abundance, which is why I felt, I went to my bookshelf looking for this book, The Law of Divine Compensation. Because the truth is different to what we are being. The truth around money and work is a lot different to what we're being taught. Natalie, I love the bit that she said, when something makes your heart sing, it's God's source way of showing you what to follow. Yeah, exactly. And that is all about feeling good. What makes your heart sing, aka what feels good for you, is God or Source's way of showing you what to follow. And that's it. It's about following your feels. That's what we were doing on Friday, wasn't it? Like following what feels good to you. Imagine if everybody did. Can you imagine if everybody did? Ellie said, I need to hear that my job is about spreading love. Yeah, children learn best when they're happy, but we forget that the teacher needs to be happy for it all to flow. Yeah, and I know looking at my son and the lots of teachers he's had, and I remember he had one teacher in particular. She was an excellent teacher, and she came into teaching because she desired to really support and help kids. And she was miserable most of the time. She was highly stressed most of the time. It was largely because of the system, the schooling system. Didn't agree with her. It's probably a different way that she's meant to teach. Maybe she's finding that now. And I felt that rubbed off terribly on the kids. You know, it's a real shame. But we can feel that. And teachers need to be happy. Yeah, they need to love the way they're doing it. That's, yeah, everyone's agreeing with you, Ellie. You're absolutely right. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So why don't we just take a moment today, just close our eyes. I won't have time for a card reading because we're nearly on the hour, so how about we do a card reading tomorrow, because I know you love them. Parents are the biggest teachers, Natalie says. Yeah, we are. And you know what? This homeschooling piece, I'm actually really enjoying having the kids around, really enjoying it. I really am. I'm going to be sad when they go back to school. But it is reminding us as parents our responsibility in their education, because I think so many of us just get so used to going, the school will handle it, which is why these poor teachers are under so much pressure and not enjoying it. It's too much on them. It's too much. So yeah, we're all learning a lot through this, aren't we? So just close your eyes and just breathe. Just take a moment to feel fully present with yourself. And just send yourself love. That's it. Just remember that you are love. That all that's real is love. And just send love to those parts of you that are feeling fear-based at the moment. Those parts of you that perhaps are guilty or feeling in some sort of comparative space or competitive space. That the parts of you that don't feel at ease. Parts of you that you're judging, limiting beliefs perhaps, habits of behavior perhaps. Whatever feels kind of front of mind, and yeah, just send love. Just send love where you know you need it right now. Love to your mind, love to your emotions, love to your physical body, and then connecting to the love that is who you are, your spiritual self. There's nothing here to be fixed. There's no right or wrong. There's no judgment. Just love. And just setting the intention now, today, to be guided by love and through love. Your true self is love, and love feels good. So setting the intention to feel good, to feel love, to be love, to glow love all day today. Setting the intention to feel good all week. And setting the intention to approach your work and your money from a place of love all week. Knowing that we'll bring these pieces into our conversations every morning this week. Just breathing that in. Acknowledging yourself for taking the time out this morning to be here together and with me, just consciously. I really acknowledge you for doing that. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. When you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you so much for being here today. I really honor you. It's truly awesome that you're showing up for yourselves like this. I really hope that you know that. It's really awesome how you are showing up for yourself like this. Really amazing. Really, really amazing. Thank you. Flo said, for me, this is timely as it's school holidays now and too many parents are saying to me, I'm going to keep on teaching. Yeah, no. Our kids need a holiday. They need a break, for sure. Have a beautiful day. Yes, lots of hearts. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So good to hang out with you guys. If you have any questions for me that you would like me to address on these calls this week around the themes of feeling good, around money, around work, just ping them through to me. You can direct message me through Instagram, can't you? Or you can post the questions when I put this up live. You can post the when I put this into my Instagram feed, you can post the questions underneath and I'll take a look. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Oh, Liz, you've been here. Good to see you. I'm glad you found us over here. Facebook wasn't working. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow morning. And don't forget to share this with the people that you love and the people who you know could use this to start their day with. Okay? Love you. Thanks for joining. Bye. Bye.